In today's video, I'm going to break down exactly how to pull the best niche list for wholesaling real estate, give you my top 7 niche lists for wholesaling real estate success. If you are sick of calling a list, texting a list, or just marketing out a list and having your seller go back to you and say, oh my gosh, there's 8, 9, 10 sellers out here trying to get this deal, and you're sick of saturated marketing tactics and lists that are just going nowhere, this is the video for you. Half these lists are free, half these lists are paid for, but overall what I can tell you is if you are pulling these lists, you are destined to have a lot more success and to have a better pound for pound success when it comes to your marketing. This means if you spend an hour with this list, it's probably equal to 5 to 6 hours of regular marketing. So if I cold call, for example, a drawing for dollars list for 1 hour, you will probably get as many deals as it takes someone to do 6, 7, or 8 hours of a regular high equity list from PropStream. So before I get into it, guys, remember, smash that like button and subscribe, get the most value from me, and let's break it down. So my top 7 niche lists, number 7 is going to be a weird, wonky one. This is one that not a lot of people talk about, but is absolutely crucial. And this is your arrest list. You might be thinking to yourself, Zach, what are you talking about? What's the arrest list? The arrest list is literally just going to your local county and finding all the people that got arrested, finding if these people own properties, and then marketing to those people that got arrested or the owners or tenants of that property. Just basically find the owner of a property where that person got arrested, got associated to, and cold calling them, texting them, doing a direct mail piece, whatever type of marketing you want, and asking that owner if they want to sell the property for cash. I actually found this list from looking at a lot of deals we've done, and a lot of our sellers actually got arrested, and some of our $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 deals have been from this list. Number 6 is the fire damage property list. You can easily pull this list by going to your local firehouse, local fire department, and asking for a list of every single property this month that went on fire. Not just a property that got engulfed in flames, but any single house that they actually got a call to. You might be asking yourself, Zach, what if they say no to this list? Here's the cool part. The fire department is a local government entity, which basically means they have to follow the Freedom of Information Act requests if you have to give one worst case scenario. But honestly, most of the time, all you really got to do is just ask politely. If they say no, you keep asking, and here's a quick tip. Either call them or actually go in person and actually request that list. You keep going enough times, you speak to the manager. As a public tax-paying citizen, you actually have a right to this information. Go skip trace it with like truepeoplesearch.com, find the owner from the property appraiser, then call these people, see if they want to sell the property. Number 5 here is the code violation list. Code violations are absolutely amazing. Code violations is basically when a house is breaking the code for the city. Tall grass, maybe there's mold or mildew on the outside of the property, maybe there's structural damage, maybe it's a quote-unquote eyesore in the community. Most code violations, especially in Florida here, are self-reported. It's either an old lady on the street doesn't like a house that is an eyesore to the community and they put them on the list. Code enforcement person comes down there. The cool part about this list is if you're on the code violation list and you don't fix it, it could be a $20, $30, $40 a day fine for that violation, which means a lot of deals that I actually do and we wholesale get $10,000, $20,000 code violation liens on them all the time. Quick tip, you can actually negotiate these down if you know what you're doing. And this is something not a lot of people know about wholesalers, but I've once negotiated a $20,000 code violation lien down to $5,000. Number 4, the IRS debt lien or credit card debt lien list. I'm telling you right now, marketing to IRS debt liens, people that are behind on their IRS tax payments and people behind on their credit cards, is an absolutely amazing list. Again, a lot of these lists that I mentioned, these are lists that you might not heard of or they're really niched out. And the reason is when you pull this list, there's a high probability not a lot of wholesalers are pulling this list or marketing to these people. This is why an hour doing an IRS debt lien or credit card lien list is going to be equal to 6, 7, 8 hours of a regular list. It sounds obscure, I know, but going to your local clerk of the court, going to public records, and then filtering by debt lien lists. So there could be an IRS list, maybe an other credit card. So a lot of these are not going to pop up like credit card debt lien list or IRS debt lien list. And that's where most wholesalers give up, but you're not going to give up pulling this list. Go to usually the other section. You can filter and find all the IRS ones. Pro tip, if you can get the entire public records for a month in an Excel format, you usually got to call the clerk of the court to do that. You can filter all with the name credit card, bank of, IRS, and you can pull it up pretty easy. I'm telling you, the clerk of the court, their job is literally putting this information in. If you go in person and ask and you're actually really helpful and nice, you'll do well. Number 3 here, this is stacked lists. So this is usually what I found, a combination of 3 niche factors all combined together, aka stacked. And no, you don't need to go buy a stacked list service on there. I'm not the biggest list stacking person, but when it comes to stacking niche lists, it's really important. So like when I use listaria.com or zachdata.com, the stacked lists are already in there, and that's really pulling it on a large scale. So that kind of works. But if you can list stack, your niche list is going to do good with 3 or more things. For example, If you can find a high equity, which isn't a niche list, with a vacant, which also isn't a niche list, with another niche factor, you're going to do really well. So let's say, for example, I find a deal that is high equity, it's also a vacant deal, and there's an IRS debt lien list or there's an arrest on that. That's going to be highly, highly important and highly motivated. If I go to listrei.com or zachdata.com, I can pull high equity leads that are vacant, which also have a lien on it, maybe a utility lien, a water shutoff lien on it. It's going to do really well. Number 2 here is drawing for dollars list. I cannot stress this enough. Drawing for dollars is a niche list. When you call 1,000 drawing for dollars leads, it's so much better than cold calling a regular wholesaling list you got from another YouTuber. More specifically, if you are sick of drawing for dollars or you only have like an hour a week for drawing for dollars, let me tell you a specific niche for most places. If you're a high ARV market, this can work really well, or a very saturated market per se. This is going to be drawing for dollars in mobile homes and manufactured houses. I cannot stress this enough. If you're in a market where the average ARV is 700, 600, or 500,000, there's going to have to be affordable housing in those areas. There's teachers, janitors, postal workers. These people need a place to live also. And I'm telling you, there's pockets in every single city with mobile homes and manufactured houses that are perfect real estate wholesaling deals. Let's say you're in a market with an average ARV of $700,000. I'm telling you right now, if you drive for dollars in mobile homes and manufactured houses, with the land owned underneath it, you can lock up contracts for $150,000 to $175,000, where your average wholesaler has to go and scrimp for deals that are $700,000 ARVs, which it's a lot harder for a lot of people out there to be successful. This is a small niche that not a lot of people are doing, but I'm telling you right now, affordable housing, especially with inflationary times we're at right now, there's a huge demand for. There's so many jobs where people don't want to spend $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 on a piece of real estate, and they just can't afford to, and they're stuck and they're in a big city. These mobile homes and manufactured houses, issues still arise with them. You know, there's probates, there's code violations still. People lose their jobs. Maybe they have to sell quick for cash. There's a lot of wholesalers neglecting these. They seem like the outcasts and not sexy for us real estate wholesalers. But I'm telling you, if you're one of the few people that are going after these leads and no one else is, you could really clean up and do really well with wholesaling real estate there. So the rule here is drive for dollars in mobile homes and manufactured areas in your city or county. Make sure the land is owned underneath it. You can easily just go to the property appraiser, look up mobile homes, manufactured homes in your area, look up the property appraiser, and make sure the land is owned underneath it. Honorable mention before we get into number 1 is the water shutoff list. Unfortunately, I've been screaming about this list forever and it's getting a tad more saturated. So maybe it's not top 7. It's definitely top 10 niche list, but a lot more people are pulling this list. So if you're in like Houston, Philadelphia, you're probably not the first person to pull this list. So I can't scream about it too much. This is something you should keep in the back of your head and something you should potentially look into doing. To pull the water shutoff list, just go to your local public utility company and ask for a list of all the properties that have the water shut off from them from non-payment. This has to be a public utility company, not a private one from your city or county. You'll do really well pulling this list. I'm telling you, it's absolutely amazing. You're getting a lot of no's. You know, a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act requests, and just go in person and keep asking. Eventually, you're going to get that list and it's going to do really, really well. And lastly, number 1, my top wholesaling real estate niche list of 2022. This is going to be probates. I cannot stress this enough. Every single $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 deal, heck, even my $100,000 plus deals are mostly probates. I cannot say this enough. You need to be pulling this list. If $50,000 can change your life today, and you can tell that to yourself, you need to be pulling the probate list. Probate's basically when someone unfortunately passes away and the heirs are stuck with the property. What are they going to do with it? A lot of these are vacant. A lot of the heirs live out of state. A lot of issues with these properties. And a lot of these heirs just want to get rid of the property quick for cash. This is perfect for us real estate wholesalers to go out here and pull this list and contact these heirs and get wholesaling real estate deals done. The way you pull this is just go to the clerk of the court. Usually there's a probate court on there and you can go pull the list pretty easy. It's a little more manual work, but the reason why there's so much more manual work is if you're the only one doing it in your county or city, you're going to be the only person going after it and you're going to be the only person potentially getting these $40,000, $50,000 deals. Please start pulling this list. It'll do really well. It'll change your life. This is my top 7 niche list for wholesaling real estate. Please do me a favor. I cannot say this enough. Make a marketing schedule. I beg of you guys, please go out here and make a schedule for yourself and say, hey, for an hour or 2 hours this week, I'm just going to be pulling these lists that Zach just said, and I'm going to start marketing to them. I would rather you commit 1 hour a week to just pulling and marketing this list every single week, so an hour a week for a year straight, than you trying to do 5 hours a week for 2 months straight and then just quit. I'm telling you, consistency and action taking action consistently is going to give you more results and yield you better results in wholesaling real estate than anything else. I'm telling you, if you just do 2 hours a week of the list I've just said here and make that marketing plan, that's going to be the same as someone doing 16 hours a week of just another type of list. Guys, go out here, start pulling this list, make a marketing schedule, and start changing your life today. If you get a no from any of these lists, so if you go to the water shut off, the probate list, code violation list, and someone says, no, we don't have that list, ask to speak to the supervisor, the manager, file a Freedom of Information Act if you have to, get this public info. Please say you're a public tax-paying citizen doing private research. I'm telling you, if you say that versus saying I'm a real estate investor, you're going to do a lot better. Do not go to these people and say, yeah, I'm a real estate investor. I provide cash solutions and I want to go pull this list. Do not say that. I'm telling you, just do it as a private tax-paying citizen doing private research. You'll go a lot further. I promise you guys. Go out here, start changing your life. Pull these lists today and let me know in the comments below, what other niche lists are you pulling for wholesaling real estate? I'd love to know. Please smash that like button and subscribe, and see you soon. Have a blessed one.